Okay, guys, so let's just go ahead and review the trades that I did this particular week. It's week one of my challenge, and my realized summary for this account was $563.65. And let's go ahead through the trades. So as you can see, I traded AHPI, MDGS, and TSNP. And here's my total profit and loss. It was $610, but including all the commissions, I made $563. Now on the second account, Webull, I made $435 this last week. And all the stocks I was trading were FTSI, FENG, and LXRX. And I didn't have any negative trades on this broker either. So overall, it was a really good week. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to show you what trades I've made last week, and I'm going to comment on a few of them. So this was my first trade. It was November the 13th, and I made $300 on it. So usually if I see a stock had a really nice overextension the previous day, 60% or above, usually when it drops, if it drops down with a gap, I usually like to short it in the morning spike. So that's exactly what I did. I found some shares to short. I shorted it, I added around here, and I rode it all the way down. It faded during the day. So I made a solid $302. It was a pretty easy trade. Now on to the next one. So this stock, LXRX, this pattern is called gap up short. So I basically wait for stock to open way up, and then I short into it. Ideally I short into morning spike, but in this case I didn't really have any morning spike, so I shorted it before the market opened, and then again it faded all day. And this trade made me another $200, and it was November the 17th. Now November 19th, this stock is called MDGS, and the same pattern, gap up short. I shorted it before market open, and I added when it started dropping, and this trade made me another $205. That was pretty solid. This was another trade on the same day. The ticker is FENG. It was gap up short. The same thing, I shorted it pre-market before the market opened, and ideally I would wait for a spike to get the better average from my shorts. So it shorted here before market open, then it drops, and there would be some kind of spike and I get better average. But in this case, it was dropping so much and so fast that I actually shorted it around here, so my average was not so great, and I didn't really make that much money, even though I was shorting around 800-900 shares. I don't remember exactly, but on this one trade I made just $59. Now before we really jump into my last trade that made me the most money, I really want you to pay close attention to these setups. So the first stock is BFRA. It happened on August 11th, 2020. So you see a nice, very nice parabolic from like $10, $12, all the way up to $41. And then you see this red candle, and then you see a massive drop, right? Now let's go forward. KODK. Those of you who trade, you guys probably know. You remember this stock happened on July the 30th. The same thing. It went up. I think pre-market was like around $9, and it went up all the way to $60. Then you see the first red candle, and then it halts and it drops, right? Let's go next one. APVO. The same thing happened on November. So pre-market it went from $22 all the way to $83. You see the first red candle, and then it drops. Then you see Caleb, the same pattern. It went from $13 all the way up to $80. You see the first red candle or the first depreciation, and then it drops. And this is just Kodak, and GNUS. I think this is actually a daily chart, but the idea is the same. Usually you have a massive pre-market gain when stock goes up around 40%, and then it drops massively. Now, why did I show you these screenshots? Well, because Friday, the exact same thing happened with this stock, FTSI. So right before market close, I think it was 15 to 20 minutes before market close, I saw this big runner. But whenever you see these big runners, you want to check the volume, because if the volume is big, then this short is probably not going to work out, this particular short that I'm talking about. Because whenever there's a low volume, there is a big market insufficiency, which means there's not enough supply, and basically demand overwhelms the supply, and that's why I have a runner 300%. So basically here, all the sellers got caught off guard, all the buyers got caught off guard, and especially short sellers get caught off guard, and basically see margin calls all across the board. So stock goes from $5 to, first it went to $10.50, and that's when I started shorting. I shorted it, and I think my price was, I think, $10.20 something. I got my first short, and then next thing I see right after market closes, the stock spikes even more. So whenever I see a big runner, 300, 400, 500%, well, that's no brainer. I know it's going to drop because, first of all, the volume is insufficient. And if volume is insufficient to support the spike, I know the spike is not going to hold. There is absolutely no way it's going to hold. So I shorted second part of my shares around 14.50, and then it dropped, and I rode it all the way down, and on the day I made $450. So this pattern is actually one of my favorite patterns because it's pure psychology, it's market insufficiency, and I've never lost money trading this kind of pattern. But you kind of always have to stay on your toes, look what's going on, because you really have 3 to 5 to 20 minutes, to spot these kind of stocks and really make a decision. So overall, it was a great week for me. I made around $900 just on these 3 accounts that I trade. So pretty solid, and let's see how I do next week.